So I've been looking around, you know, and everything, and I noticed there's not a lot of videos explaining ALC settings and everything like that. So I guess I use a controller and everything. So, in my opinion, like ALC settings are really good. If you're a new player, definitely get into ALC settings immediately. Your normal settings are good, but they don't allow you for aim, or you could say settings, you know what I mean? So my recommendation is that when it comes to this, dead zone just means, look, when I turn it off, this happens, you know what I mean? Every controller has a different kind of drift on your aim. Dead zone just allows you to control that. I have it on mine on 3 because that's all I need for it to stay still. So you just keep turning it up, the more your controller has, more worse drift that your controller has. Like if your controller has really high drift, then definitely turn that off. And every time you get a new controller or anything, definitely check your dead zone, because each controller has a different amount of drift and everything. Now the outer threshold, it's like it says, is width of the outer buffer defining the boundary of max stick input. What that means is that when you're turning your joystick in your controller, do this, and I don't have a mechanism that allows you to see what my joystick is doing, but basically when you hit that max, when you're turning the little wall that prevents you from turning your joystick more to the right or to the left, that defines the boundaries, meaning that look, there's a little yellow line right there. Let's say I put it all the way to the max. My controller will now define that as the as the point where it's max out, and it will allow you to do more, to basically turn your camera faster. This only affects when you put extra yaw on your controller. Right now, look, let me turn it down so you can see it better. Let me turn down the outer threshold a little bit down, that way you can see what I mean, what I'm talking about. Now, when it comes to this, right? Once I hit my max controller, it allows me to turn faster. You know what I mean? Especially when I'm ADSing. That's why I only have my extra yaw when I ADS, because I notice that when people have really low settings, they really have a problem on following fast targets. So the extra yaw allows you to be able to track them, because it allows you to move faster when you hit that max input on your joystick. You know what I mean? If I didn't have that extra yaw, look, if I didn't put any extra yaw in there, this is what happens. Look, as you can see, it turns really slow. You see that? Right now I'm hitting that max place where I would normally go fast when I have extra yaw. You see that? Go slow. Now when I put more extra yaw, especially on your ADS, definitely, if you prefer low settings, then definitely turn up your ADS extra yaw. This one right here, ADS extra yaw, definitely put it on if you like low settings like me. I prefer low settings because low settings really allow you to move precise. Now there are some players that use really high ADS yaw speeds and pitch speeds, because the higher your ADS is, the easier it is to control recoil, but it will be really hard to follow people, because you have to make really small adjustments, which is really hard, because I mean, when you're playing on controller, your hands have really tiny muscles that you have to train when it comes to muscle memory. And since they're so tiny, your brain has to literally control those tiny muscles in your hands, so it's really hard to make precise aim, to have precise aim when you have your yaw speeds and pitch speed really high. And yes, it allows you for more recoil control when you have lower settings, but your aim will pay for that. I mean, you can train your aim, you know, having really high through time. Your body will, I mean, your hands will get used to that really high speed, and eventually you'll be good. But the problem is that let's say you hit a point where you're bored. Your body will not want to do extra work. We're lazy creatures, you know what I mean? So yeah, your aim will be awful when you're not actually trying. When you're trying, of course, yeah, but that's why I just put low settings. Yes, you will have to do the work to learn the recoils and control them perfectly, but you will have better aim. One of my friends stay hydrated. He has really low settings. His settings are 2-2 on normal settings, so that's really low. But his aim is, oof, it's really good. So just put low settings when it comes to the ADS. You know what I mean? Now when it comes to your normal, like yeah, when you're not ADSing, or well yeah, when you're not aiming, those you can have them high. You know what I mean? Because yeah, you won't. I mean, you don't really need that precise aim when you're not ADSing. Of course, putting them too high, you will run into the problem of aiming, but it is more forgivable. You know what I mean? I have them really high, as you can see. But yeah, yeah, you don't have to control recoil that much recoil when you're not ADSing. So just have them high doesn't matter. One thing that I do have to tell you is that the reason why I like ALC settings is because it really allows me to control what I want. You know what I mean? Since I have my normal speed, like when I'm not ADSing or aiming, as you can see, I have them really high for that simple reason that it allows me to have really fast movement, especially when someone's shooting at me. You know what I mean? You have better movement when you have them really high, which normal settings do not allow you to do that. If you put them on high, you'll have high ADS and high, yeah. With the ALC settings, it allows you to have high movement, when you're not aiming, it will allow you to have really high settings, but it allows me to have, but in this side, when I'm ADSing, what I like about the ALC is it allows me to control each part. When I'm ADSing, I like really low settings because it allows for better recoil control and better aim. When you have, yeah, better aim. And then I have them really high here because it allows me to run faster. Well, not run faster, never mind. What the hell am I saying? It allows me to turn quicker, etc. Really tap into that sweaty rate or octane, you know what I mean? Especially when you're octane, it really allows you to, yeah, really fast and everything, and feel like it's fast because that doesn't really enhance your how fast you go. But as you can see, yeah, it allows me for better movement. There you go, better movement when you have high settings on when you're not ADSing. That's why I like the ALC settings. But it will really allow me. But the ALC really allowed me to have low settings when I want to do that. The settings are low for the reason that my aim is really precise, you know what I mean? As you can see, yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it, yeah. Really quickly. This one, you can have them high. To recap, yeah. This one you can have them high to allow you for better movement. And this one definitely have them low, so you can have that better and more precise recoil control and more precise aim. But this one, yeah, you don't have to do anything about that. And now this one, your response curve, yeah. If you're running on the classic, which is the default on the game, and if you like the classic feel of it, leave it on 10. And I don't really know the numbers for everything else, but this is for classic. And this is for when you like the linear control, which is raw. It just means that you have a bit more control and like, how do you explain it? Like, I can't really explain it. I don't really know that much, but yeah, just to quickly recap, if you play on classic settings, put that at 10. If you play on linear, put them right there. If you want a hybrid of both, just put it on 5, 4, etc. Just work with it. Research, you can look up yourself what different settings are depending on everything. But yeah, that's basically a quick recap on ALC settings and why you should definitely change this. Now this one, this is for like per optic settings. Like as you can see, it says it right there. Definitely when it comes to this stuff, right? The ×2 I put on ×1, that way I can still, like, how do you explain it? Let me think. When you're playing like this and you have it on 1, you don't have to move your thumb that much. But let's say I didn't have that. Let's say I didn't have the per settings, right? You have to pull your joystick a little bit more down when you don't have the precise per settings, per optic settings, right? If I turn that down, look what happens. I have to pull my joystick a little bit more down so that I can control the optics. When I have it on ×2, I have to really move my joystick a little bit more down so that I can control it better. But if you don't want to deal with that, then change your settings to, and yeah, just move them as much as you want, you know what I mean? And right there, see that? And 1.1, when you have your ×2 optic on 1.1, it basically will equal your iron sight, right? So then your recoil controller, how much more you have to pull down your joystick, will be the same as when you're just fighting with the iron sight. And the ×4 and all of these ones are just depending on you, on what you like. You know what I mean? I have my ×4 on really high for whenever I put the 2x4 on the, let's say on the Devo, you know what I mean? The 2x4 allows me so that I don't have to pull down the joystick. Right there I don't have to pull my joystick that much down because of my per optic setting of 1.3. But it's all on you, you know what I mean? If you don't, it's all on, you could say preference of sight, you know what I mean? Of different sights, you know, it's depending on you, you know what I mean? You can do it by yourself. Yeah, and you don't really have to worry about the sniper settings. Not a lot of people use those sniper stocks, or I mean sniper optics, because honestly, and Apex is a really fast moving game, so you don't have to worry about any yeah. Usually when I'm using snipers, I use 2x4 because it allows me to brawl with it. If, like, let's say I run out of ammo or anything and I need to use my sniper, that's why I like the 2x4. It's like a high settings, you know what I mean? And everything. So yeah, that's basically a quick recap on just AOC settings that you should definitely use them, you know what I mean? If you're a new player coming in, definitely ignore the normal settings and immediately go to your AOC settings and change them and everything and all of that, so you can, yeah, that way you don't have to go through the whole process of having to find out your ALC settings after you have to transfer your ALC settings and everything. If you're a new player, definitely just immediately change those. That way you can find your perfect ALC settings for you. You can try mine if you want. Yeah, quick recap, yeah. You can stop the video if you want, so you can look at all of this. But yeah, do not mess with this turning ramp up 10 or turning ramp up delay. They're not really useful. This one, it's depending on you. Turning extra yaw, extra pitch is like, yeah, the same. Once you hit that limit on your controller, yeah, it'll, yeah, how fast you turn. But yeah, yeah. So yeah, I hope you found this video useful. I'm not really fond of how to explain things, but hope you find it useful. Change to your AOC settings, find your settings, and well, yeah, become better on it. Well, GG's, please, if you want to, subscribe to the channel. I'm not really that good, but if you want to, well, see me play, you know, just, yeah, subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. Goodbye.